going on, guys? My name is Coop and welcome back to Koopa Cosplay, the channel where I show you guys how to turn into your favorite characters from head to toe. And today, in the very first tutorial of Koopa Cosplay, I'm going to show you how I made Jevil's neckpiece from the game Undertale. Of course, as you know, I am working on a Jevil cosplay, and this was one of the very first pieces that I completely finished. So yeah, I was kind of rough when it came to making this piece, but since then my sewing skills have evolved quite a bit, let's just say that. But anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and get right into sewing. So the main reference that we're going to be using for this piece of the costume is going to be the official Deltarune poster that is out on Fangamer. So before we get started with any sewing, we need to take a couple of measurements first. First off, we need to measure the area around our neck and add a couple of inches to this measurement as well. And then we also need to measure from the side of our neck down to our shoulder. So after you've taken those measurements, the first thing we are going to do is cut out a rectangle that is 2 inches tall by whatever your neck measurement was. And don't forget to add a little bit of seam allowance to this. I chose to cut this out of a yellow satin, but you can basically choose any yellow fabric that you feel suits this costume. I just chose yellow satin because I think it adds to the kind of courtesy type look. So after you've cut out your rectangles, you want to zigzag across all of the edges to keep them from fraying, and fold the satin in half by the tall side and iron whatever seam allowance that you have so that it is folded on the inside. Then turn this inside out and sew the left and right ends together. So with this piece done, we'll set this aside for now and we'll start making the triangle bits. Before we do any sort of cutting, again, we need to figure out how big we need to make the triangles. So for what I used to make the triangles, I basically first off took the shoulder measurement that we took earlier, and that is going to be our height for this. You can add like maybe an inch or so, just so you can have a little bit of wiggle room with this if you want. I chose to do this and it worked out pretty good for me, so you may want to take that into consideration. And now for the width, you want to take whatever your neck measurement was and divide it by 9, and then add a couple of inches to that, and that is going to be your neck measurement. I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but let me put this into perspective for you guys. So my neck measurement was 20 inches, so you want to divide 20 by 9 and then add a couple of inches to that, and that will be your width for each of these triangles. So now that we have all the basic mathing of this done, we are going to actually start cutting out the shapes. And we're going to be doing a lot of cutting because we need to cut out 18 triangles. We need to cut out 10 in yellow and 8 in green. I know I really didn't do a good job here, but the fabric kept moving around, okay? So after you have all of the triangles cut out, you want to pin them together and start sewing together all of the triangles using a straight stitch. After you have the straight stitch sewn, you want to go in with some fabric scissors and cut off the tips of each of those triangles up to the point where you've sewn the triangle with the straight stitch. This will prevent the triangle from puckering up on the very points, and it will kind of make this look a little bit cleaner. I really forgot to do this on this part of the costume, so my triangles turned out a little bit crappy. So again, learn from my mistakes, people. So after we do that, you want to zigzag around the edges to keep them from fraying, and we are going to turn this whole thing inside out. Top stitch the whole of the rectangles. Do this for all of your rectangles, and then we are ready to start putting the collar together. To put this whole thing together, we're going to lay down the strip that we started sewing earlier, and we are going to start laying our triangles on the inside. First, we are going to lay down our yellow triangles, and then after we lay down the yellow triangles, we're going to lay down the green ones. This will kind of make a layered effect, which looks pretty good in my opinion. After you lay down your triangles, you want to top stitch the rectangle across all of the sides and sew on a small snap in the back. Make sure you sew the snap in the correct way. This is not the correct way to sew it in. Trust me. Do as I say, not as I do. Once again. And voila, you should have a full collar now that is perfect for pretty much any Joker related costume out there. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and also turn notifications to stay up to date with my posts. Next episode, I'm going to show you guys how I made my shorts for this costume, so make sure to stay tuned. And until next time, I have been Koops, you've been awesome, take care, and goodbye.